to finally meet you too. So,
So, yes.
I am doing interviews with a lot of I say melanated people,
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
and I wanted to work from the inside out, like start this way, work out.
Okay.
And you were one of the main person that came across when I thought about doing interviews and stuff like that, following your page on Instagram.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Oh my God.
So yeah, so I figured because I was talking to my lady about it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm need to get her up there because she's very thorough and knowledgeable and consistent. Like every time I watch her page or look at your page on Instagram, it's very consistent.
Oh, thank
So
you. Thank you. I
I,
try to be, it's hard because um you have let me just say this. First of all, thank you so much for even thinking about me. But because I don't have like thousands of followers, and I'm cool with that actually, because it's like Biggie says, more money, more problems, more followers, more problems. Because I've had no, seriously, there have been people that have been bullied off of Instagram because of so I try to keep, I like it low because the drama is low, and I'm not here for the drama.
mhm.
But thank you, because anytime anybody says anything positive about my page, I'm amazed because I don't think, you know, I don't think I have, I'm just doing what I love. I'm just posting what I love. I'm doing what I love. So thank you. And I totally cut you off. So let me stop being rude.
Oh, no, 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 that's cool, cool. Now you're on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas. So it's about 2 o'clock here. You're on the East
Connecticut.
Coast.
Yeah, I'm
And
in
where?
Connecticut,
And you're
Hamden,
in
Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Oh, okay. All right. I've never been to Connecticut. The farthest, like, I guess you want to say East Coast I've ever lived was Ohio. That's where I'm originally from. But yeah, Connecticut, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So, did you have anything in particular you wanted to talk about, or
yeah. I have
just
a couple questions I have set up, and then usually
okay?
at the end of my interview, I have a speed round where I ask you more questions dealing with trivia.
Oh shoot.
So let's
Oh
get.
snap. Are they like on a scale of like I can guess that even if I'm asleep, or I'm gonna need to go to the internet.
Uh, this is you can guess that while you're asleep.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
So
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
I'm
go
gonna
over
let you
some.
do.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over some general questions for you
Okay,
at the bottom of the page. But what got you into the
okay,
horror movie genre?
okay. So are we starting now?
Yes.
That's the first question. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought okay. Well, what got? I'm like, oh, okay. I did. All right. So what got me into horror? Okay. Well, actually, I remember being a kid watching like the old like the black and white Dracula and the I guess the Bela Lugosi Dracula, the Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. and Frankenstein. So all those little movies growing up, they were on TV. They used to play on TV all the time, and I used to be so attracted to that. I don't know why, but then what really kind of got me into horror was inadvertently my mom. She took me to see and when she took me to see Halloween when it first came out, and I don't think she knew it was a horror movie, or maybe she did. I don't know. She told me she was on a date and she didn't have a babysitter, so I tagged along. And and I just remember I remember as we were going in. Now this is a perspective of a 10-year-old, so I remember people saying that movie is scary. And it was just like a lot of people out in the lobby, probably just going to the movies. Like, you see people, but, from a 10-year-old perspective. And then of course we were late. So we came in like the movie, like I didn't know what was going on. Then back in those days, you could stay and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed and watched it from the beginning. So I was terrified, and when I say terrified, I went in her room and I asked, could I sleep with her? And she was like, no, sleep in your own bed. So I'm in the bed with the covers over my head, like looking to see if Michael Myers is gonna come and get me. And I remember I didn't watch that movie again until I was in my late 20s. I was terrified of that movie. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is nothing. But when you're a kid, you don't think about those kind of things. It was just so scary. I'd never seen anything like that before, and it just seemed so real. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um,
And
I
I can see that for a 10-year-old.
yeah,
You think
for
it'll
a
be
10-year-old, I can see. So that's kind of like where my horror fascination kind of jumped off, like when I was a kid.
cool, cool. All right, so I'm move on to the next question. And the next one,
Okay.
how many DVDs, Blu-ray movies, and downloads you think you own? And see, I follow your page, and I know that you watch a
Uh-huh,
lot, so I figured, are you
uh-huh.
downloading? And then I seen you took a picture of some of your Blu-rays. So I'm like, she has
Yeah.
a hefty library.
Okay, so I have probably, because I'm trying to like kind of look at it like, so if I was to say physical Blu-rays or things like that, probably close to uh maybe 800 or so. But like downloads, because I download things too. So I downloads I probably have um and this is just a guess, probably not that many, probably about 200 or 300, but only because, and then I've deleted a lot because what I like to do is just because I like to watch a movie first, and then if I like it, I'll buy it because I've been burned before. I buy a
Same
movie
here, same
blind.
here.
I buy a movie blind. I get home and watch it, and it's like, oh, this is garbage. But some stores, I think now they're better with returning like
Mm-hmm.
Blu-rays or you switch it for something else. But I remember I it wouldn't let me bring it back because it's open. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to look at it if I don't open it? And so yeah, that's probably about it. About yeah, physically probably yeah, close to probably about 800. I'm thinking, but that's over years. It didn't happen. It
Yeah.
didn't happen. Oh yeah, overnight. And there are some things that I have to, and there are upgrades too. So there are things that I have to um get sell or get rid of because they're on Blu-ray now. And now I'm at the stage where I only buy things that I like. So and as you know on Instagram, it's so hard to get it's so easy to get caught up in that movie of the week. Like everybody is hyping it up and it's so popular. And then when you get it, you're like, okay. Or when you watch it, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is not what. But so I try to kind of not fall prey to that. But it's like when I first got on Instagram, I was just so overwhelmed because first of all, me being a Black woman, I didn't have a lot of growing up. I didn't have a lot of people that were number one Black. Well, I had friends that were Black, but they weren't into horror, so I kind of kept that to myself. I didn't really like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people. And it wasn't until I got older that I just started embracing that. When I got on Instagram, it opened up a whole world to me. It was like all these people of color that are into horror. It was a beautiful thing. But when I first got on there, I didn't see a lot of people. But it wasn't until people started friending me and I would look at their page and I'm like, oh my God, yes, yes, I feel you. I'm into and if you like, I'm seriously, if you look at if you go to my Instagram page and you look at like when I first got on Instagram, it was more like me posting positive affirmations and all of this. And then like all of a sudden it just went left and I started doing like posting horror stuff
Yeah.
because that's when I started like learning that it was just this big horror community and of all different races that but particularly I was just so drawn to
Mm-hmm.
people of color and Black people that were just like unabashedly I love horror. I'm rocking my t-shirts. I'm doing this, and just like I was gone after that. So that's when it really, like, for me, started to
Mhm.
take off. I was like, I'm dyeing my hair purple and blue.
Mhm.
I'm doing whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It was just awesome. So
And
that's
this,
kind of,
Lord.
I know I kind of went off script of how
No,
much
that's
I
fine. That's fine.
said in
So
that. Yeah.
the platform that you use to download, what one do you use? Because I use Voodoo.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so what one do you
Uh,
use when you download your movies?
I usually download from, because I have Amazon Prime.
I
So I
have
use
that too.
that, or I might use I haven't used what's the other one? I'm trying to think of it. I haven't used YouTube, but YouTube actually is a great place to start if
Hmm.
you have, like, well, they used to, they're starting to change now, but they have like a lot of free movies. Now the quality, and that's kind of like where I kind of went to in the beginning. They have
Hmm.
the be kind of sketchy, but I discovered a lot of movies on YouTube and you don't have to
Hmm.
pay anything. So, but to answer your question, Amazon Prime, I've downloaded from there because I just have Prime, and
Hmm.
that's really about it. I don't know who's watching this, but there are some websites out there where you can access movies for free.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
people watching that know what I mean. So there are those websites. I'm not condoning that, but they are out there. So if you want to watch a movie, you just have to know where to go. And I'll
Okay.
just leave
Because I
it.
know, not like that you're talking, because everything you said I agree with. Definitely, when it comes to horror, it's more of us than we expected, and we are
Right.
embracing it. And
Yes.
like I said, you were like one of the top ones I thought about. Like I said, I think your Instagram page is very thorough because you're very consistent. So
Thank you.
give you a little props on that. But I'm definitely
Thank
gonna
you.
move on to the next question for you. And what genre of horror do you watch?
My absolute favorite genre of horror are slashers, hands down. I love slasher films. Everything from the Halloweens to the freaky movie that just came out last year. I mean, those movies. I don't. I guess because I got with Halloween, I got exposed to that kind of
Okay.
early. And
Mm-hmm.
and back, and I was growing up in when it was the boom, the 80s, where it was just nothing but slashers. You would see that on TV, TV late at night, they would show them like Jason and the Friday the 13th movies like that. So that's where my heart lies with slashers. So I try to but I also kind of like, and like sci-fi horror. That's kind of like, I like that too, like the Alien, because the Aliens,
Yeah. Yeah. There
one of
you
the
go.
things. the
John
thing,
Carpenter, the thing. There you go.
yeah, the thing is like in my top three of all time. I love that movie. I mean, so yeah, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the slasher films. For me, you can't go. I mean, they're so cheesy, like especially the 80s ones. They're so cheesy.
I like my cheese
Just
now.
love
I like my
that's what I'm saying. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm all about it.
cheese.
So yeah, I definitely have to say slashers.
Okay. And it's funny because, well, I'll be 50 this year, and I grew up when we had the grindhouse thing going on. So
Oh
that's movie
yeah.
80s. So we was exposed to that. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yep.
like the golden age for slasher movies, I think.
Yep. I agree. And I mean, like, so and then what is interesting, when I got onto Instagram, I learned about the
Oh, yeah.
Italian film. I didn't even know. I had no clue, none when I was
You didn't
growing.
get the memo?
Huh?
You
Yeah,
didn't
I
get
didn't
the
get the
memo?
memo when I was growing up, because it was just like I had no clue. Like, I had heard of Suspiria. I think I may have even watched it, but it didn't register. So when I was like, where are all these Italian films that people are posting? Let me go investigate. So I was, I put so so I started watching all the Italian. I was like, oh my God, like, why
Yeah.
did I not know about this? And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I mean, that's why I love Instagram, because I'm always getting exposed to new things. No clue about the Italian slashers, none.
Yeah. Actually, there's a classic. Remember Demons? That's an
I
Italian
have, and
classic.
that's one that people talk about. I have not seen that one, so I have not seen that. It's on my list. It
Okay.
is on my list. It's on my list. But yeah, I have not seen that one. So once, because I'm hosting 70s Decade of Horror, so once that is over, it's some movies that I have that I know I need to watch. You know, because and I'm always there's always a list of movies that I have never. You probably do too. Never ending list of movies that you need to watch that you haven't seen, but yeah, that's one of them. I keep looking at it, and I was just gonna outright buy it, but I was like, oh no, what if I don't like it? Then I'm like, no, I probably will like it. I just need to go and buy it. I'm like, I'm gonna wait, so I'm gonna
Okay.
watch it and go from there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the next question I have for you is this: have you attended a horror convention or a festival?
No,
Don't worry, I haven't yet, but me and my lady
yeah, I
just talked
have
about
it.
it.
Yeah, I wanted to. I thought they had one in here in Las Vegas, and I didn't find out about it until I think it was last year, until late. And I was so nervous because it was COVID, and it's still I was still kind of nervous, but
Mhm.
that is definitely one of the things that I want to do. I mean, I know there's a big one in California that I wouldn't mind going to. I
Mhm.
mean, my thing is I don't have anybody to go with, and I don't want to go by myself because I want to experience it with someone. So
Mhm.
I, my job is to find. And I think I have somebody that would go with me now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I haven't been to any, and I see the pictures and how everybody interacts, and it just seems like it's so much fun. You get to meet so many cool people that you either
Mhm.
follow on Instagram or you meet there and just begin to follow. So I definitely that is on my bucket list to attend a festival or a convention.
Cool. So the next question I have for you in Night Watch Zone. Thanks for watching. Appreciate
So
that.
thank you.
Do you have a favorite horror director?
Yes, John Carpenter. Hello. He's made my favorite movie of all time. So yes, I love John Carpenter, but Wes Craven is also like right there too because he's made some films that are classics. Um he's restarted the genre. You think about Last House on the Left, you think about A Nightmare on Elm Street, you think about Scream. I mean, these are movies that are classics that people still watch and talk about today. So,
Cool.
but if I have to go with modern directors like both to me they are considered classics. I would have to go, of course, with James Wan. I like Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, love
Yes.
Flanagan. I don't think he gets the props that he deserves. I mean, he's starting to get his flowers a little bit. But I love Mike Flanagan. He does some top notch work.
Mhm. Cool. Cool. All right.
Oh, this is like oh, yeah, Kane Hodder, Adrian King. Oh, awesome! I want to
Yeah.
meet Kane Hodder. I'll say, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm reading.
Mhm. So the next question I have for you is this: what decade of horror do you think was the best, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the 80s. I gotta say it. I
There you
mean,
go.
these are a close second. The 70s are because I love the 70s, but
Mhm.
the 80s just brought it. It was the golden age of my favorite type of film, the slashers. I mean, you had that decade had everything. So definitely the 80s. I mean, but I do love the 70s a lot because so like those there are so many classics from there. Everything from Don't Torture a Duckling to Suspiria to Alien to
Mhm.
Tour Trap and Halloween,
Mhm.
um, Asian of the Body Snatchers. That decade has everything too, but it's
It was
just I
popular. It was popular back then.
it was happen. Like if the 80s one's so awesome, the 70s would probably be my favorite. The 70s would actually probably be my favorite, but the
Okay.
80s brought it. I'm sorry.
All
Hands
right.
down.
So the next question I got for you is, do you think they're putting restriction on horror movies, and do you think they're putting too much social events in them? So let me structure that for you. Um,
Yeah.
I know that in movies, sometimes horror movies, they will do like a current event, touch on it,
Oh.
and at the same time, with today's movies, it's so much cancel culture and people having their feelings hurt that are they kind of bringing back the horror and the gore due to that? So, what is your what's your thought on it? Because
Uh,
my for me, it's like okay, I don't mind that to
yeah.
see social events, current events put in there if it's
Mhm.
written in there well, not shoehorn in.
Yeah, right,
When
right, right,
shoehorn in, it's just too blunt, and it's like a message
right,
bang over the head. And on the
right,
other hand, it's a horror movie. And
right.
if this is something that you don't like, which, as you said earlier, we come across something you don't like, we just don't like it, we move on. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I don't think that's warrant for people who don't really participate in this community to come and say, hey, that's too much, and then move on to another group and patrol them and kind of like, you know,
Okay. I think I get where you're going. So you're saying like, do they do first? The first part of the question is, do I think they're putting too many social like what's going on in the world today into horror movies? I don't think so.
mm-hmm.
I, really, I don't think so. I think they're. I think it. I don't mind a horror movie reflecting what's going on in that particular time during
Mm-hmm.
that particular time. I agree that it has to be done well. It
Okay.
has to, but for example, Get Out. I think about the social aspects of race and culture in that movie.
That was
Um,
a home run. That was a
that
home
was
run.
yeah. I mean, I remember when I saw it, I was just like, what the hell? And actually, I can actually see that happening. Like low key. Like I can
Yeah.
actually see that happening. So that
Okay.
wasn't a I thought that was excellently done. But you're right. I think when filmmakers try to um so that
Cater.
wasn't heavy handed. So you sometimes a movie can be, and I can't think of an example, can be heavy
Black
handed.
Christmas. The remake of
Oh,
Black Christmas.
oh, that movie was okay, yeah. Thank you.
That,
And I bought that movie too. I don't know why, but I think it's because it was cheap. Yeah, that movie was awful. It was just first of all, it shouldn't have been called Black Christmas. Let's start there. Let's start
had nothing
there.
to do with the horror
And
again.
it had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the horror. It was more of it was more of a feminist kind. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind the feminist aspects of it, but it was just too heavy handed.
Yeah.
I think you can have a horror movie that reflects the time, but it doesn't have to like cater and just hit you over the head consistently about this is what it is, this is what it is. The audience is smart. You have like the audience has like we as horror people, we as movie watchers have a brain. So we can kind of figure it out. You don't have to like keep doing this all the time because it gets a little like wait a minute, I am not 2 years old. I'm good. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the
Yeah,
memo. I definitely
I
got the
got the
memo.
memo. Thank you very much.
And
And then you said what was the other? Were we putting restrictions on it?
yeah,
Uh, well, what do you mean by restrictions? Like, what do you
like
mean?
a lot of movies from the '70s, people are looking back and saying, "Well, this was too much gore. This wasn't needed."
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
saying to myself, like, okay, well, if that doesn't work for you, it will work for this.
Okay.
But are you mature enough to understand that? Well, this movie is going to be heavy and gore. This movie is going to be like a slasher. This one is going to be like, whatever the case may be.
Oh,
So
okay. So I think they're putting too many restrictions. Maybe because I'm just me personally, I don't like a lot of I wasn't into the torture horror of like the hostels and things like that. I personally that wasn't my thing.
mm-hmm.
But um if you like if so I didn't watch it. I would like say for example, Martyrs. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, The original one.
or yeah, that movie took it to a whole new level. But I was just like, okay, I watched it. I may watch it again. I may not, but I've never seen, for example, The Human Centipede because I already know that's
Yeah,
just
you
not gonna
already know that. That's not
be
that
my
ain't
type
it.
of thing. You know what I mean? Or what's the Serbian film? I've
Yeah,
heard
I
clips
got
of
that
it.
movie. I got it.
You
Yeah,
do? Okay. Did you watch it?
I watched it with my lady.
Oh, right. Okay. So I've never watched that movie, but I've seen clips of it, and I was just like,
It's
okay,
heavy.
I'm good. I don't know.
Definitely heavy. It's definitely
I
heavy.
don't. It's heavy. So yeah, I don't know. So and I'm not a big fan of movies
That
that
type of heavy.
yeah, that kind of movie, but so I don't really watch those movies. But if somebody else likes it, fine. I don't think there should be any type of restrictions. Me personally, I think a filmmaker should be able to make the movie they want to make. Hey, if you don't like it, move on. But you should, because like um you're right. Like this whole cancel culture, like somebody makes a mistake, go cancel this film. No, just don't watch it. Why does it have to be canceled because you don't like it? That's okay. I won't. It's fine. So
Yeah,
I think we have to have those because obviously if this person is making this film, obviously they believe there's an audience to watch it.
yeah,
So have at it. Absolutely.
yeah. And sometimes people want to escape by watching these movies, and if they're trying to escape from one day of work or the case may be, they don't want to turn around and see another message beating them in the head. So that's why I
Right.
brought this question up. So the next one I
Yeah.
have for you is a good one.
Okay.
Get this. Oops.
Let's see.
Do you put the movie Get Out in horror or thriller?
I think it's I think it's a little bit of both actually. There is a
Okay.
thriller aspect to it, but honestly, it is a horror movie to me because this is something that like I said before that I don't think is too far fetched.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the horror in the way that not to bring up, but I have to racial injustice and things that are going on, social justice. Yeah,
Racism. Yeah, we can talk about
racism,
it.
all of that.
Mhm.
So that's for a black person, that's a horror movie. Like
You
for
got
me,
that
that's a
right.
horror movie.
You got that right.
Because I mean, it does have some thriller-ish aspects. Like at the end, I want to like if anybody hasn't seen it, I don't want to spoil the end. Like you didn't know what was going to actually happen, so I can see that being a thriller, but
Yeah.
thriller part of it. But it to me, it was flat out a horror movie. Was it the traditional horror movie? No, but it's a horror movie.
Okay, so the next question for you is do you think thriller and horror can be both? I think it can.
Yeah, absolutely. That like Get Out is a good example of that. So is and I think and actually us too, because I think when from the two movies that I've seen by Jordan Peele, I
Hmm.
think he's going through the lens of having something to say,
Hmm.
but he also knows that he has to entertain this audience, so like us, I know there's mixed reactions on us, and I'm kind of like on the fence with us. I probably have to watch it again. At first I
Okay.
didn't like it, but I might have to watch it again to really um I understood what he was kind of saying, but I just was like, after Get Out, I mean, that was a masterpiece, and then Us was kind of like, but but I like that he has something to say, and
Good.
I don't and not and I'm and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all horror movies have to have something to say. Most horror movies don't have anything to say. It's just, especially the '80s, it was just like kids in the woods, like having premarital sex, and
Yeah.
it's over with,
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that, but I mean, do you think a horror, like a movie, can be a horror and a thriller? Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Silence of the Lambs is a good one too. That's a
Case
horror
in
movie,
point. Case in point.
also a thriller. So that's a good one. Yeah.
So like you said earlier, aliens, science, sci-fi,
Mhm.
and horror.
Sci-fi.
Yeah. All
Yep.
right. So the next one I have for you is this: what horror movie you're looking forward to see this year?
Uh,
You can give me a few.
I'm
I'm
kind of
looking
scared.
for a Spiral.
Okay, yeah, Spiral is definitely one. Halloween Kills, of course.
Hmm.
Um,
Candyman.
because Candyman, yeah, Candyman. I am looking forward to seeing that one too. I'm just kind of scared because I don't. These movies have been so hyped, and I don't want to like get there, and I'm just like, oh no, you know. Yeah, definitely. Like Saw. I'm looking forward, and actually, I'm looking forward to revisiting those movies before I see, because I haven't seen them in a long time. But
Hmm.
looks good. It looks good, and I kind of like the fact that they didn't do necessarily it with Jigsaw. Looks like it's a spinoff of it, so I like that aspect. The same thing with Candyman.
Yeah, I
How
forgot the sister name that's directing that, but it's a sister who's directing.
Nikki DaCosta, I think Nikki DaCosta, I think
Yeah,
that's her name, Nikki
yeah.
DaCosta. And there was another one that I was kind of looking forward to that I can't think of. But those are the top three. But there was another one.
Is
I
it
think it was
a Quiet
last
Place?
night. Huh? Oh, quiet. Yeah, definitely a quiet. Yes, definitely a quiet place too. And the last night in Soho, I think that's the name of it. Last night in
Yeah.
Soho. I'm looking forward to that one too. So yeah, definitely a quiet place too. I wish they would have just gone ahead and released it on like HBO Max and in the theater. I
Hmm.
wish they would have done that, but I understand why they pushed it back. So I don't have a problem with that. So those are the movies I'm looking forward to seeing.
Cool, cool. All right, so we are
I
at the
forgot
speed.
something.
We are at the speed round. Are you ready?
Oh no, no, no. Okay.
So
I'm
the
so bad with trivia. Like, like people post stuff and I'm like, what is the answer to that? Okay, okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
this fun times, fun times. What's
Okay,
the name of the
okay.
camp where Jason drowned?
Camp Crystal Lake.
See, there you go.
Okay, that's one. I get the feeling they're gonna get harder.
Okay. What film director created Freddy Krueger?
Wes Craven. Oh my god.
See, you're on a roll. You're on a roll.
Okay, okay. That's two. I'm nervous.
What country is the horror movie Wolf Creek is from?
Australia.
Yep. Yeah.
I was gonna
See.
say no. Okay. I'm nervous. That's still just okay, go ahead. Okay.
All right. Who is considered the father of zombie movies?
George A. Romero.
There
Yes.
you go. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry.
What is the name of the child of the Omen?
Damien. Damien.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know his last name. He probably does have a last name, but I don't know it. Yeah.
Who directed the movie Cabin Fever?
Eli Roth. Eli Roth.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, you good.
Oh,
How often does the Creeper come back in Jeepers Creepers?
every 23 years.
There you go.
Oh my
You
god.
might get a perfect. Let me find
Oh
out.
no, oh no. Oh no, wait a minute.
So it is a good question. What horror character matches your personality?
Horror character. Oh man. Okay. Horror characters. Well, that's I'm looking at my room now to see if I can kind of I think horror characters, if I have to say, um Sam from Trick or Treat, because he's kind of quiet, mischievous. So if you break the rules, he's ready to stab you. So I guess
Yeah.
I can say Sam a little bit from Trick or Treat. Um, Probably. Let me see. I see. I'm looking around to see what maybe a little bit of Chucky, because he likes to crack jokes and I kind of like to make jokes too.
Okay.
And, um, lastly, I'm literally looking at my. Oh, I know one, and I don't know if she's considered a horror character. The bride, the freak bride from the Purge election year,
Mm-hmm.
because she is just like I'm not tough, but she just I think I kind of say what I want to say. I'm a straight shooter in that aspect. I'm not violent like that at all. Like
No, no, I got you. I got you. I feel you.
I'm not violent, but
These are the things
I
that you can
love.
relate to. Something that you
Huh?
can relate to.
Yeah, I can kind of I can. I see why I can see why she was the way she was. I
Okay.
love her.
So
Yeah.
the next
So
question for you is: in the movie "Don't Breathe," they enter a house to rob a man who is what?
he's blind.
Yes. Yes.
how
You know what? You might get a hundred. Let me find out.
many questions you got left? Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is the last one.
Okay.
In what film were a group of citizens trapped inside a supermarket during a heavy mist, trying to survive a species of bloodthirsty creatures?
I already the
There
miss,
you
the
go.
miss, the
You
miss.
got a perfect 100.
Ah! Yay, yay. So that's okay. So when you interview other people, you let them know. No, I'm just kidding.
So I'll put your page up there so people can follow you. This is your page.
Oh, okay. But yes, please follow me. Actually, it's F Sanders 2. That's my actual page name, but underneath that is the horror homegirl. But if you look for it on Instagram, it's F Sanders 2, and that's actually what I have. Yeah, it's my name right there. So follow me on Instagram if you want to. You don't have to. And I had so much fun. Anything else you want to ask me? I don't want it to end now.
Yeah. Well, on your page, I noticed that you have hashtag her 70 thing. Like this week, you're doing something dealing with wherever the holiday or that event is going on. So
Okay.
I know people link you to stuff. So how that even came to be?
Well, so this week I am doing the 70s decade of horror. So how that works is it started last Sunday. So what I'm doing is on the first day, so last Sunday was any horror movie from the year 1970 people were watching. For example, today is 1977. So if you want to watch any horror movie from 1977, like you watch it, just put the hashtag 70s decade of horror, so we can see it, like it, and it ends on Tuesday with 1979. How that started was actually this is the fifth year that I've done it. So actually a few years, like 6 years ago, it was really like people were like doing all these like weeks. So it would be like 80s week, 90s, 2000s week. I was like, well, I remember thinking nobody's doing the 70s. And the 70s I remember the 70s had some great movies.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to one of my friends on she's no longer on unfortunately she's no longer on Instagram. Her tag is lover of all things horror, but she still has her page, but she's not that active. So I was talking to her, I was like, well, nobody's appreciating the 70s. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Show
a
some
great
love. Spread love.
this is some love, you know what I'm saying? And she said, well, why don't you do something? I said, I'll do it if you co-host. So that's the genesis of it. That's how it began. And then we just kind of kept it going. So she hasn't been involved in about 2 years. I really miss her.
Mm-hmm.
She would come back, but everybody, is so sometimes social, people don't want to be on social media, and I
Mm-hmm.
took it. So but that's kind of like where that idea began. Now I was thinking, since it's so long, because it's 10 days, you have to be committed. So I
Yeah.
was thinking about maybe changing it to 70s horror week and just making it 70 just a week instead of 10 days. But I've been doing it this way for so long, so I don't know. But yeah, if anybody wants to come and join, please join in. It's a lot of fun. It's you get to revisit movies you haven't seen or discover movies that you don't know about, because it's some not believe me when I tell you, I learn something new every year from doing it. Like, people post movies, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, it's
I
some stuff that you have on your page. I'm like, I have to check this out myself.
I'm like, I had never heard of that. I'm like, they all like, I mean, they bring it. So
Yeah.
it's really a lot of fun. So if people want to come do it, please do it. I encourage you. And yeah, that's kind of like that was the genesis of how that started.
All right.
Yeah.
So you know what? I definitely appreciate this great interview that I have. Of course, I'm looking forward to getting you again on my platform and do another one. Uh,
Yes.
is anything else you would like to ask me?
Well, tell me how you got into horror. I told you all my stuff. How did you get into horror?
Okay. So, like I mentioned before, growing up in New Haven, Connecticut, there were grindhouse movie theaters where we'd pay $1, and it was kung fu movies, and then it was horror movies. That was my
Mhm.
introduction, and then watching The Exorcist that left an imprint on me. And
Mhm. Mhm.
then the more I got involved in horror movies, I wanted to know the directors, the studios who distributed them, so forth and so on. And like I said before, in Connecticut, I did go see the Waynes, Warren Brothers,
Mhm.
who did The Conjuring, but they live here
Mhm.
at Lyman Hall twice. Um,
Mhm.
in Connecticut, there's a lot of spiritual settings and sites and stuff like that, horror things. So you go down to sort of graveyard and see Bloody Mary Tombstone, or you can go here to Connecticut and see this and that. So
Oh,
Connecticut, a lot of
cool.
hauntings and stuff. We have
Yes.
Yale here,
Mhm.
we're maybe 45 minutes away from Manhattan, so it's not
Oh, okay.
a jump. And that's how I got involved. That's the surrounding around here, and I'm definitely gonna be linking up with other people. Like I said, just trying to start off in the base first and get the melanated people and branch out. But again,
Okay.
I will be definitely tapping you again further down the road when I
Yes.
get a theme to
Yes.
discuss and do a panel.
Oh, that would be, I would love to be a part of that. Yes. Yes. Keep me in mind. I would love to interact with more of us on a panel because I think we just need to have um, a better presence. Just flat out say it. We need to have more representation. I don't think
Yeah,
we have, I mean, we are on Instagram. I don't feel that
yeah, we
it's,
sprinkle about, we sprinkle
yeah,
around.
but it's like little sprinkles, but it's not like, like a whole meal of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hungry, I guess. But we need to come we need to come together. So we have like maybe one or a few places where we can all get together so we can like exchange ideas because
Okay. Well,
um,
that's what this platform is for.
I love it. So if who please let me know who you have next so I can support 100%. And
All
I
right.
will post it on my page too. So just whatever you need, let me know. I'm here to support 100%.
All right. Well, I want you
Okay.
to enjoy the rest of your day. But what time
You
is it
too.
again there? Because right now it's 5:32 where I'm at.
It is 2:32 in Las Vegas and it is
Okay.
probably about 90 degrees. Thank you very
90
much.
degrees?
No, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, it probably is here. I can look real quick. Hang on. I can.
Okay, so right
Yeah.
here we have 51 degrees, and we think that's
Oh,
good.
50. Ooh, 88. I'm sorry. I was off by 2 degrees. 88 degrees here. Sunny and 88. Thank you for asking. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Talk later.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye
All right,
bye.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.